Welcome, students and staff. I have with me here Deputy Zumfelde, who acts as our student resource officer, also our DARE officer. Today we're going to spend a little time with him. He's going to review over some of the laws that are circled around communication devices and use of phones and iPads and things like that in communicating with each other, sending pictures, sending text messages, doing things with those devices that you shouldn't do, and the law side of it. This is a review of something he presented to us last year, and we'll be doing this annually with him, just to keep everybody informed, and it's really good for all of you to hear this. So Deputy Zumfelde, just start with pertaining to if you were to send a text message that may be harassing or even receive one, what can be the consequences there, and what do you suggest?
So with that, there is a charge of telecommunications harassment that we deal with, and that's on any type of device, whether it's from text messaging, through email, through any social media sites. If there's any type of threat involved with that, it can be investigated criminally, and we take threats seriously for that person. If you're on the receiving end of one, the best thing I can recommend doing is do not respond to it. If you start responding to it, it's only going to make the situation worse usually, lead to more of an argument between you and the other person. And then if you file a report later on, it shows that you're communicating back and forth, and could actually get yourself in trouble based on some of the things you may be saying. And then again, with sending it out, same thing goes. There could be a criminal charge applied with it if there is some form of threat involved with it, or if it is harassing in nature and it continues on over and over and over, then there could be a charge associated with it where you get a criminal charge where you can get in some serious trouble with some jail time actually associated to it.
And how often do you think the sheriff's department deals with such things?
Daily. With communication devices becoming a bigger thing, everybody has a cell phone now, social media sites. We deal with it from kids all the way up through adults, same types of situations where harassing going on, threats going on, and it is a daily report that we take from different people.
So let's move into if someone receives an inappropriate picture from another person, or if they receive an inappropriate message that they get from another person, let's say without asking, it just comes to them. What do you suggest?
Best thing to do, again, don't respond to it. In the past, it's been said to try to delete that photo. However, with that being said, it's still on your device whether you delete it or not. And if an investigation would get open later on because somebody else files a report and that's found to be in your possession on your phone, even if it was deleted, you could get yourself in trouble for that. So the best thing to do, don't respond to it. Report it to somebody immediately that you received it and you didn't want it. Let your parents know if it happens here at school. Let a staff member know. And then obviously contact us if need be, if it's something along those lines.
Now, how about if you're on the other end and you are the person that makes the decision to maybe send something inappropriate to somebody else? What could follow with that?
Well, the main thing that follows is that never disappears. Whoever you send it to, they can forward it on to whoever. That can be screenshotted, attached to websites, put on the internet for just anybody to see or come across. So it never goes away once you send it out there. You can't just pull it back. So it's important not to do it in that way. And since we're at the school level, if we're talking kids under 18, technically that would be possessing underage pornography, child pornography at that point, even if it's a picture of yourself that you send out. So there are criminal charges that could be associated with that as well.
And let's say you're the second or third person down the line after this initially started, and you get this. What does that mean for me if that's myself?
Well, it doesn't matter whether you started it or you ended it. Everybody that's involved in that at some point, they're either distributing it or possessing it. And with that being said, there's a charge for each section of that. There's distributing, possessing, creating, sending. All of those can lead to different criminal types charges involving sex offenses. When we start talking along those lines, there's restrictions that even as a juvenile could require you, if you get charged with it, to actually register as a sex offender for the remainder of your life, just from one mistake that you make as a student.
And it could be one mistake that someone makes, and they could end up in trouble with the sheriff's department. Or possibly in trouble with the school, which would have some different bearing and have different restrictions, and the level of knowing that this actually happened is different for the sheriff's department than it is
Right.
for the school. So that also comes into play as we talk about some of these things that might happen either outside of the school or within the school building itself. So just give the students some general advice in the area of using their communication devices, communicating effectively with other people, using it the way it should be used.
Sure. With that being said, communication devices are great. Keeps you in constant contact with people. You know what's going on. But the main thing to do is just think before you post something. Think before you send a message. Don't be, if you're angry at somebody, don't send a message when you're angry. Most people make their worst choices when they're angry about something. Take the time to think it through. Think if it's a good idea. Try to think about what the consequences might be. What's going to happen with this after I hit the send button? And then if you start thinking about that, it's going to lead to making a better choice and probably just deleting it or saying something different.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for sharing the information.
No
Deputy Zumfelde is around here on Thursdays this semester. Oftentimes he's in the cafeteria. You see him in the hallway. Feel free to stop by and say hi to him, ask him questions. If you have questions, that's why he's here. He's a great resource for us. And this information shared here is very useful to students, not only this year, but as you move forward in the rest of high school or moving into college or even into an adult. This stuff still applies to what happens on a daily basis for you. So thanks for the time and have a good rest of the day.